Hello there, I'm Black Bright News, and good morning, good afternoon, and good night, depending on which part of the world you're watching this video from. And today's headline about Frederick Day from Ipswich, who was paid an extra £2,169 between February 2025 and January 2026 by DWP due to a system error. It caught my attention because it was about what happens when institutions make mistakes and ordinary people are expected to carry the emotional weight of those mistakes. Frederick Day was overpaid more than £2,000 in universal credit because of what the Department for Work and Pensions described as a system error. The important part of the story isn't that he received money he wasn't entitled to. The important part is that he repeatedly told them. He tried to stop it. He reported the mistake. He even managed to stop one payment, only for another payment to appear in his account months later. Now he finds himself feeling as though he is in debt. Think about it for a moment. Someone else makes a mistake. Someone else creates a problem. Someone else ignores the warning, yet somehow the person who acted honestly ends up carrying the anxiety. I have to admit this story resonated with me on a personal level. A couple of weeks ago, my brother and I received correspondence, my two siblings received correspondence from Brent Council alleging that more than £10,000 is owed in relation to my late brother's estate. Before the letter arrived, I had not been in debt for well over 15 years. I don't like debt. I deliberately organised my life so that I won't have that kind of burden hanging over me. Then this letter arrives. Nothing has actually changed in my bank account. Nothing has changed in my daily routine. But psychologically, someone has placed a figure in front of me and said, I owe. It's amazing how powerful those two words can be and how they can affect your dignity. Even before anyone proves the debt, even before anyone explains the legal jargon, even before anyone answers my questions, my mind begins carrying the weight that wasn't there the day before. And that is why I empathise with Frederick, because the debt isn't just financial. The debt becomes emotional. You begin thinking about it when you're making a cup of tea. You think about it when you're trying to watch television. You wake up during the night wondering how this has happened. Your peace of mind starts paying interest long before any money changes hands. There is something fundamentally unfair when honest people are punished for being honest. Imagine if this gentleman had stayed quiet. Imagine if Frederick had said nothing. Perhaps the error would have continued. Instead, he did what society tells us we should do. He reported it. He acted with integrity. And yet he is the one left worrying about the repayment. That creates a dangerous message because honesty should never become a disadvantage. Integrity should never leave people wondering whether they would have been better off keeping quiet. Now, before anyone misunderstands me, this isn't an argument that public money should simply disappear because mistakes happen. Taxpayers' money matters, public accountability matters, but accountability should work both ways. When citizens make mistakes, government departments expect accountability. When government departments make mistakes, surely they should also accept responsibility for the consequences their errors create. Because mistakes don't just affect bank balances, they affect people's health, they affect confidence, they affect trust, they affect sleep. Stress is rarely measured on a balance sheet, but it is one of the most expensive costs of a human being that a human being can pay. I often say that institutions underestimate the emotional impact of their letters. To the organisation, it may simply be another case number, another file, another account, another reference. But to the individual opening up that envelope, It may represent weeks or months of anxiety. Sorry. A single letter can change someone's weekend. A single paragraph can ruin someone's holiday. A single allegation can sit heavily on someone's heart. Those are real costs, even though they never appear in an annual report. Perhaps what struck me most about Frederick was his honesty. He said if he had to repay the money, he would. He wasn't looking for an excuse. He wasn't trying to deceive anyone. He simply questioned why he should carry the burden of someone else's mistake. And that's a reasonable question. And perhaps it is a question many people ask in different situations. Why should patients suffer because of administrative failures? Why should families suffer because paperwork is delayed? Why should carers suffer because systems don't communicate? Why should honest people lose sleep because organisations refuse to acknowledge the human consequences of their own errors? These are not simply financial questions, they're moral ones. Because every institution ultimately depends upon trust. Trust is built when people believe they will be treated fairly. Trust is strengthened when mistakes are acknowledged quickly. Trust grows when compassion accompanies procedure. Without trust, even the most efficient system begins to feel cold and distant. One thing I've learned over the years is that life doesn't just test our finances, it tests our character. This gentleman demonstrated character by reporting the overpayment. I hope the authorities demonstrate character in how they resolve it. Likewise, as I continue dealing with my own situation, I remain calm. Not because uncertainty is pleasant, not because allegations don't matter, but because panic rarely improves judgment. When difficult letters arrive, we have a choice. We can react emotionally, or we can respond thoughtfully, ask questions, seek evidence, understand the facts, allow the process to unfold before reaching conclusions. That doesn't remove the stress, but it does prevent the stress from controlling us. Sometimes protecting your peace of mind becomes just as important as protecting your bank account. Perhaps that is today's food for thought. Debt isn't always measured in pounds and pence. Sometimes people place emotional debt upon us. Sometimes systems burden us with worry before responsibility has even been established. Sometimes the greatest challenge is refusing to allow someone else's mistake to become our permanent state of mind. If you're dealing with something similar today, whether it's a letter, an allegation, an overpayment, or an unexpected demand, remember this. You're not defined by the envelope that arrived this morning. You are defined by how you respond after opening it. Stay honest, stay calm, keep asking questions, keep seeking the truth. And don't surrender your peace simply because someone else has made an error. It's very easy to stress yourself out. I mean, I don't know how I felt when I got that letter. I just felt, I can't even explain how I felt. I just thought, how can this happen? How can, they furnish a letter 4 years after my brother's death, and when I didn't even have anything to do with his affairs, nor did my siblings. And yet all of a sudden they are saying that we are responsible for his care fees. So all I'm saying is keeping calm. I'm asking questions. And I'm seeking the truth, because that's all I can do. And hopefully the truth will set me free. So until next time, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and most importantly, take care of your heart. That's all for now. I'm Black Bright News, over and out. Until next time, bye-bye.